back to Business No, this is not Metropole Review. No, it's not. This morning, we are starting with a conversation that is really important, that you really have to know. This morning, we're talking about offshore investment. It is a good thing that if you have some money to spare, opportunities that are open somewhere else are good for you. This morning, I am joined by Atlantic American Managing Director Daniel Ryan, who's going to talk about an investment opportunity that has been going on, but you probably didn't know. Mr. Ryan, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to be here as well, sir.
Thank you.
A pleasure and
Thank
a
you
privilege
so
to
much.
talk to you this morning.
Okay,
let's lay background to this type of visa.
excellent way to start the discussion.
When did it start? What is it looking to do before we get into the nitty-gritty of exactly how to get a hold of it?
Let's talk about the origination of the program.
Yes.
This program has been in effect for 29 years.
Quite a long time, isn't it?
29 years.
Yes.
Many people do not know about the program.
Mm-hmm.
George Herbert Walker Bush, the first Bush United States president, the gentleman that just passed away recently, he is the one that pushed forward during a time, it was about 1990, the economy in America was not doing very well. And he was looking for ways to create jobs. And he worked with Congress to come up with what we call the employment-based visa program. Therefore, the EB-5. The EB-5 visa is intended to create jobs in America.
Yes.
And that's how the program got started by George Herbert Walker Bush 28 years ago, to bring foreign capital to America to create jobs in America. And in return, the foreign investors would receive a green card to be able to move themselves and their family members, all members under 21, to America once they went through the entire process and could prove that their investment created 10 jobs.
Yes.
So that's a nutshell of the program.
Yes. When somebody listens to you speak, is this just a visa program for individuals as opposed to companies, you would say?
Good point.
Yes.
It's for individuals, but most of the individuals we work with own companies. So what we call the petitioner or the applicant of the visa, many of our clients own companies. In fact, here in Kenya, I'm working with about 20 people actively that are individual applicants, but they own Kenyan businesses.
Yes.
And one of their motivations for getting involved in our program is to expand their Kenyan business to America for expansion.
Yes.
So in effect, it's going to help the Kenyan economy because they're taking their Kenyan business, they're going to move over to America and expand their Kenyan operations, which in turn helps the Kenyan economy.
Yes. So when you talk about investing in the U.S. economy, are you restricting the areas in which these individuals were interested in this program would invest in? Because I know you hear about real estate investment.
Right.
Or it's just an open array where you get to pick, because if I'm into this type of business, then I have to really go and select and get into that because that's the only business that I'm good at.
Let me explain and make it real clear. Our company strictly focuses on new commercial real estate investment. Only. There is another segment to this law that can invest in individual businesses. We do not get involved in it because it's very complicated. And we have experience, our company is an affiliate of a 45-year-old investment banking firm that has focused all over internationally and the United States, but primarily our professional expertise is in new commercial real estate investment, private equity management. And that's really why we're so successful, is because we understand commercial real estate investment And the EB-5 program really gears itself towards commercial real estate investment.
Yes. Okay, now somebody listening to you would say, interesting. Or maybe if they didn't know, because I know you were here again in 2018,
right,
when you're really talking about this program and raising awareness about it. So somebody would say, interesting. But what does it take for me to qualify?
Okay.
Yes.
Well, there's a couple of things. Mm-hmm. One, you need a minimum. The investment amount currently is $500,000 US.
Yes.
So obviously that's one requirement. If you have the resources, that's the first requirement. The second requirement is you have to pass what's called an OFAC check, which is really like an international financial credit check, yes, to make sure that you have never done any money laundering and you have a clean background. Yes. Thirdly is a background check, that you've never committed a prison type crime. You know, if you have a traffic ticket or a nominal misdemeanor, it's one thing. But if you spent time in prison, you will not be allowed to enter into this EB-5 program.
Yes.
So those are really it. It's just a matter of, you have the money, do you pass the OFAC check, or do you have a clean track record? And then fourthly, you have to be able to prove that the $500,000 that you're going to invest, that you earned legally.
It's clean money.
Clean money.
We don't want to use this as an opportunity to launder money
into
the U.S. economy.
Right,
isn't it?
Because as we all know, yes, you know, and I've been here a week, there's you know, we've had some issues,
yes,
lately.
And that's exactly what I wanted to talk to you about, because now you do know that the Kenyan economy is going through a demonetization drive of the 1,000 old currency shilling note, and that would be now questioning, especially for programs like this that want to put money somewhere, isn't it? All right, another question that I really want to ask you right now is that, yes, there's an interesting part in this whole program that therefore says eventually, because you're investing in the Kenyan economy, there's an opportunity therefore for this visa to grow into a green card where you're getting the American citizenship. Let's talk about that. What does it take therefore for it to mature?
Sure. It's really a three-step program.
Yes.
The first step is what we call the conditional process, and that is once you apply, which is called an I-526, that's step one. That's the conditional process.
Yes.
And that is about a 14 to 24 month process. And if everything goes smoothly and you qualify and you those items that I mentioned are documented, you will receive for yourself and for your family green cards. And at that point, you can move to America. We have a family that just came to America from Hungary, for example. They have 7 children.
Yes.
So just think about it. 9 people for $500,000 have moved to America within about 19 months.
Yes.
Okay, that's step one. Step two is then you file what's called an I-829, which is the permanent residency green card.
Yes.
And that's about a 2 to 3 year process. And all that is it's then taking that time period after you've arrived to show that you're a good citizen, that you're not committing any crimes, you've activated, you've engaged into American society, you've opened up bank account, you've opened up, you've bought a home, you've started a business, you've gone to school, your children have started to go to school. And one of the things I want to highlight before I forget, one of the primary reasons that our investors talk to us, they love the fact that they can bring their children to America, attend high quality public education at very, very low cost.
Yes.
We understand clearly the cost of school fees here throughout Africa.
Yes.
And by the way, I lived in Malawi for 12 years. I understand what school fees are all about.
Especially when you want to get quality education.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. The difference between government and private is night and day.
It's night and day. Everybody knows that, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's the second point. After about, just in relative terms, we like to tell people from the application to the conditional green card, plan on about 2 years, but recently it's been less. From the conditional to the permanent, it's about another 2 to 3 years.
Yes.
So that's a 5-year process. At that point in time, you're a permanent resident. After a waiting period of about 2 to 3 years, you can then apply for citizenship to America.
Yes.
Now, here's the beauty of our program. You also can be a dual citizen with Kenya. You don't have to give up your Kenyan passport. You don't have to give up your Kenyan household. You don't have to give up your Kenyan business. This is the beauty of the EB-5, is that people from, we're working in Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa. We're looking at all kinds of different countries. And the first question is asked is, do I have to give up my citizenship in my home country?
Yes.
Now, certain countries it is an issue, but in your country it is not an issue. And people like that, because that way you can travel back and forth, and you can continue your business
locally
and long term,
also internationally,
and
yes.
grow your business and bring some of the money back to Kenya to improve your country.
I just want to talk to you, therefore, about the response that you've had with this program in Kenya, and I know you're targeting the people who are into real estate development as well. Have they received it really good? Do you have any numbers that we're looking into?
Yeah, we can give you specifics.
Yes.
First of all, the people that are interested in our program, many of them are not really real estate people. They're more interested in the investment security and the risk of getting the green card. They are mostly concerned about receiving the green card and receiving their money back.
I see that.
So the real estate that we invest in, for example, we look at 300 different proposals a year from the top real estate developers in America, and we choose 3 out of 300.
That's quite a sieving process, isn't it?
It is, and our underwriting people are some of the best. They are all MBAs, CFAs, financial analysts. They've been doing this for 30 plus years.
Yes.
And our success ratio, this is what's really probably the most important thing for your viewers.
Yes.
100% of the people that we have signed up that have invested in our programs have received their conditional green cards. 100%. The secondary, the permanent green card takes the other 3 years. We have people in that process that so far, all of the people that have met the criteria have received that portion of their green card. So we have a 100% track record of every client we've taken on so far. Very few companies that are what we would consider competition can say that. And because we've been in business for 45 years and we do such strong due diligence, our real estate projects are so successful, and we create those 10 jobs required per investor that we have never, ever had any problems getting a client approved.
Yes. Someone will ask the question really, because we do know in the Kenyan economy as we speak right now, the real estate sector is, people say, is on a slow down.
Correct.
It's not really hitting the levels that we've seen it hit a couple of years before.
Right.
So when you look at it critically, is this program now offering the real estate investors, especially, another platform now for you to try your fortunes over the other side?
Yeah, it is actually, because here in Kenya, we were just talking about that a minute ago as I was overlooking your beautiful view. You have a lot of buildings being built, and that's wonderful. But I also noticed there's a lot of empty buildings.
And that's
which is
one
not a
key
good
statistic, actually, especially in the real estate development. When you look at office spaces and all that,
correct.
What stands out from every survey is that we have empty spaces.
Too much, way too much.
Yes.
So here's one of the things that we do. We do what's called a diversified approach to real estate investment.
Yes.
We don't rely upon office buildings. We do primarily, we kind of target, because office buildings historically have been so cyclical. We focus on high quality 5-star hotels, which generally do quite well.
Yes.
We focus on high quality luxury apartments, or flats as you call them, rental properties. And most recently, we're doing student housing around universities all over America that has a huge undersupply of rental high quality apartments for university students that end up driving 10, 15 miles away from the campus to live in a terrible apartment paying high rent.
Yes.
So we have found this niche of a secured form of real estate investment that people in Kenya, you can put money into the EB-5, get a green card, invest in real estate that has high degree of return on investment
yes.
and security, and diversify your portfolio.
Yes. Somebody listening right now will say, yes, I have this money that I can actually give to your company to start investing in real estate. When you generally look at the performance of the real estate in your economy, would you say that this is a secure place to put your money in? Because locally, the real estate sector has now been viewed as one of those volatile areas to get your money into.
Right.
Because there are seasons when it performs good and there are other seasons when it
Right.
really underperforms.
I completely agree. I would say 10 years ago, real estate in America was not a good investment.
And everybody does know that.
And everybody,
Yes.
I mean, you recall the housing crisis we
Yes,
had, the
yes.
mortgage bubble.
Yes.
We had a terrible run for about 10 years. The last 3 to 4 years, we have had this amazing increase in economic development, and real estate is leading the way. Our real estate investments that we've invested in are creating almost double. I don't want to use the term double, but
Yes.
almost.
Yes.
We have to create 10 jobs per project. One job that we're working on, one project, is creating 16 jobs per investor right now. And that shows you the strength of the economy in America right now, because economically there is strength going on in a lot of different industries throughout America.
Yes.
High tech, medical, education, manufacturing. There's you hear a lot of other talk, but the bottom line is the economy in America is doing very well. Commercial real estate investment, especially because we underwrite so strictly. And like I said, we look at 300 proposals, we choose 3. We really drill down and make sure we understand the numbers.
Yes.
And that's why we have such a high 100% success rate.
It's a good time that you're coming into Kenya right now, and what is really trending across the world is this trade wars now we're seeing between US and China, and as everybody knows, they're not stopping anytime soon. I mean, every day we get a new development.
Right.
If a stagnation, if I'm allowed to say.
Right.
Do you think this is going to be a factor now where you're going to have people say, let's wait and see, and then after that, Ryan, we can give you the money?
That's a very good question, and I think it depends on the investor.
Yes.
I think that there's a lot of people in Africa, and my focus is Africa.
Yes.
That's my territory. Our company does work all over the world.
Yes.
We have an office, people working in Dubai, Asia, China, Vietnam, wherever. And what we have found is that this China-U.S. negotiations, it's causing some people some concern, but it's mostly causing the Chinese investors concern. And quite candidly, the Chinese investors that we did a lot of investment with, they're on a 14-year wait period, so they don't affect us.
Yes.
They have been oversubscribed. So our investors are primarily from Africa, South America, and they, with due respect, they welcome that chance to come to America.
Yes.
For education, for creation of jobs, for expanding their business, and for generally just the ability for their children to become U.S. citizens at some point in
Yes.
time.
All right. I just want to clear this conversation like this. What guarantee do your investors get into this project? Tell me the specifics.
Okay.
Yes.
Specifically, and this is very important, by law,
Yes.
the way the law is written, I cannot sit here and tell you 100% you're guaranteed to get your money back. It doesn't allow me to tell you that.
Yes.
Because the law was written to have an element that there is a risk involved. And that was the risk that was put in place on purpose to give people motivation to come to this program with the hopes of a green card.
Yes.
Now, with that said, look at the track record. We have 100% approval rate. So 100% of our clients have received their green cards, and out of the people that have gone through the next phase, they have received their money returned. And they've received a portion of capital gains, which is a fancy term for if we build a building for $50 million and it sells for $75 million, our investors share in that appreciation as a limited partner.
Yes.
And that's a whole topic we could talk about for about an hour.
I know. All right. Ms. Ryan, thank you very much
It's
for
a
joining us
pleasure.
at Metropole Television. All right, guess what? Now you do know that project is for you. If you have 500,000 US dollars, the opportunity is for you. Ms. Ryan will be in the country for quite some time. You do know exactly how to get him or to approach him. Guess what? Investment opportunities are open for you. We take a short break here on Metropole Television. Once we come back, Metropole Review.